Hey, Bo, thanks for doing this today. Just your overall thoughts on this season now that it's come to an end. I'm sure there's a sense of relief, but also frustration that you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're not in the playoffs and fighting for the cup, it's not what you want to, the position you want to be in. That being said, our team's been through a lot this year. Obviously, it's disappointing that we're not in the playoffs, but I mean, a lot was thrown at us this year, and we've had the battle for everything. We encountered. So again, it is disappointing, but it's just going to make us stronger in the long run.
The coaching staff and Travis Green doesn't have a contract beyond the end of this season. Just your thoughts on what Travis has meant to your development as a player and that overall situation with the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, Travis has been awesome towards not only the team but towards me. Helping me through this process and growing my game and you know teaching me how to play the right way and trying to be a good leader. So he's been great towards me and he's been great with the team. So we'd like to see him back for sure.
We'll go next to Ben Kuzma.
Hey, Bo, a couple from me this morning. You talked recently about there's probably not a younger captain or a young captain in the league who's gone through as much as you in the past couple of years, and probably especially this year. There are a lot of asks of a captain, Bo, and I'm just curious, how difficult was it to address everybody after the COVID outbreak, where the players were quite concerned about the 19 games in 32 days and how that was going to play itself out? How difficult was that, Bo, just to address everybody and knowing that maybe the support wasn't there that you probably needed as a captain on some levels?
Yeah, I mean, again, it was tough. Not only having COVID, but obviously the family's getting it and kids getting it. So I mean, it was a tough time for everybody, not only in my family but everybody else's family too that was going through the same thing. And to to go through that and then come back and play 19 games and I think it was, I don't know, 32 days. It was a lot. And kind of the whole process of talking through it with the teammates and with the NHLPA and kind of getting JT kind of got the ball rolling there when he spoke to the media. And for us to get a couple of days definitely helped kind of get us prepared to play against Toronto. But I mean, after that, it's a lot of hockey in a short amount of time. You finish off with a 4-5. It was a lot, and it's a lot of hard games on the body and mentally, and it definitely hasn't been easy. But again, it's just going to make us stronger in the long run.
You were asked to do extra things on the ice, Bo, and you seem to transition well into a PK role. How comfortable were you with that, and what did you learn about yourself this season, Bo?
Yeah, when guys go down, other guys have to, they have to step up and fill that void and try to do whatever you can to help the team win. And for me to hop in the penalty kill, I was pretty comfortable with it. Just having experience in the past, so maybe took me a couple of games to get used to it again. But after that, I felt really comfortable, and I was just trying to help my team win and do what I could. And for me, I think just continue to keep growing my game and trying to get better every year, whether it's killing penalties or on the power play or playing that 200-foot game. I'm just going to try to keep getting better.
Next up is Ian McIntyre.
Hey, Bo. So we know about the uncertainty with the coaching staff. You're aware, I'm sure, that there's stories about the Sedins and others possibly coming into the organization, even a question about whether Jim would be back as GM. How much does all this uncertainty affect players, and are you concerned about where the organization might be headed?
No, I'm not concerned. I mean, I think, the uncertainty is, as players, I don't think it affects us as much. I think we're going out there and we're helping each other in that dressing room to win. It's kind of out of our control at this point. We would like to see, obviously, would we like to see Travis and the coaching staff back? Of course. I think they've done a great job here. As for, Hank and Danny, they're amazing people. They're amazing in the community. And, I can't say enough good things about them. So, I think, we have a good young core here and we have a good group of guys, and we just have to take the next step. I have to take the next step next year. Our younger guys have to take another step, and we just got to continue to keep growing and getting better.
And I want to ask you about something you said during that COVID Zoom call, where you were asked about the support of the owner and the manager, and you talked about the support of the fans and friends and family. Can you just explain that? And did you feel supported by management and ownership?
No, I did. And, I wanted to, say that they were supportive and they did lend a helping hand and supported us through the whole thing. And, when I said that, I think I just kind of, the first couple things that came to my mind was family and friends reaching out. But, again, it was a tough time for not only the families and everybody on the team, but also the organization too. I mean, it's not easy on anybody. So, everybody was great during that time.
Next up, we'll go to Barry DeLay.
Hi, Bo. I'm wondering how you want to approach coming into next year. Do you just flush this weird season and try to like it never happened, or is there some specific things that the team has to take forward going into next year?
Yeah, I don't think we can completely flush out of our brains. We like to forget about it and certain parts of it, but I think, at the same time, we can learn from this experience and get better from it. At the same time, we have to take the next step next year and continue to keep getting better. We can't, go the opposite way and, start to trend backwards. We got to keep going forwards and keep the trend going from, how well we played in the playoffs and in the year previous. So I really believe in this group. I think we have a really good group of guys here that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And we have a good young core here that's going to lead the way.
I think there's undisputable about the core. As far as depth, I think you played a lot of tough teams in this division, but I think they had you on the depth. Is that something that has to be better for you guys, that you need that support from the bottom six, et cetera, to support that great young core?
Yeah, anytime you can add players that are going to help you offensively and defensively, you want to, you want to try and make your team as best as possible and get guys around that are willing to do whatever it takes to win again and to make this team better, because we want to win here. We want to make the playoffs. We want to, again, like I said, next year we want to take the next step. And for us as players, we're, the coaches put the systems in place and we got to go out and do it. So that's all we can control.
We'll go next to Farhan Lalji.
Just to follow up on that, I know that your job isn't to negotiate contracts, but I'm sure you're aware of just how challenged this team is with its contracts as they try to make some improvements. Do you worry about that as a player? Because even Jim had mentioned that this is going to take 2 years potentially when he spoke to us midway through the season. Do you worry that the roster isn't going to change enough to allow next season to be significantly better?
No, again, like for us as players, that's out of our control. For me, next year, I feel like we have the right guys to make that next step. Whether we add guys or not, if we have the same roster as this year, the guys just have to take the next step, and we're gonna have to get better and win hockey games next year. So regardless of who's on the team or different guys that they bring in, we have to, the guys in the room have to take that next step and perform and try to make it to the playoffs again next year. So again, who we bring in or who we sign is out of our control. We just got to go out there and do it.
Where did it go wrong at the start of the year? I know you guys had a challenging schedule, but coming into it, everybody was at the same stage in terms of no preseason games and length of training camp and things of that nature. Why do you think it went so wrong at the start?
No, it's hard to say. It's hard to put a finger on it, but I mean, I can just speak from experience and going through it. We really didn't have a lot of time to practice, and with the new guys that came in the lineup, and the new acquisitions we got, it's tough just to hop into new systems and perform right away without hardly any practicing. And I'm not trying to make excuses or anything like that, but it does play a factor in how we perform. And I know we didn't get off to a good start, but I mean, as soon as we got some practice time in and started to click as a group, we started to play really well, and we brought ourselves back. And then all of a sudden COVID hit, and kind of took the wind out of our sails. And it's tough to go through that.
We'll take a few more here. We'll go first to Gemma Karstens-Smith.
Hi, Bo. I'm wondering if you can speak to what going through a season like this, all the adversity you guys have been through, what that can do for your team as a group.
I think it can just make us stronger. Mentally, I think it can, going through something like this, whatever gets thrown our a lot's been thrown our way this year, and it seems like whatever else can get thrown at us in the coming years and next year is going to be minuscule compared to what happened to us this year. I mean, hope that's the case, and I think we're going to know how to handle it a lot better.
And obviously you've played a lot of tough minutes this season, like you were saying, four games in 5 days. How are you feeling physically at the end of all of this?
Tired. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was pretty grueling. It's a lot of hockey in a short amount of time. I'm going to take some time here to get my body back to normal and get some rest and spend time with my family and get ready for next year.
We'll go next to Thomas Drance.
Well, you noted earlier, I have to take the next step. I'm just curious to ask you to drill down on that. What specifically does that mean to you in terms of what's next for your game?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just want to continue to keep getting better and at being a leader. Obviously my play on the ice, you can never keep, be perfect out there. I mean, no matter how good you are. And for me, just keep getting better at my 200-foot game. I mean, being, really hard to play against and making it difficult for other teams' top lines. If I get that matchup and, I mean, you can never get too fast. So keep working on my skating and that ability. I mean, the game's getting faster and faster every single year. So for me to keep improving on that too is going to be huge for my game.
Well, you're 26 at this point. You hit 500 games played in the last few games of the season. You've become a dad. I mean, you're now a man in this league without question. Is there some impatience considering where you're at in your life and career to begin to do some winning here?
Yeah, no, I want to win. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Everybody wants to win. For me, I feel like my game, keeps getting better year after year, and I'm starting to feel more comfortable. And, there's, for me, I want to win. And, this is, I'm getting tired of being out of the playoffs and not being able to fight for the Stanley Cup. And, for me, I want to take, again, for me, I want to win here, and I find we have the group to do it. And collectively as a group, we have to take that next step next year and fight and make the playoffs.
Okay, we have time for two more here. We'll go first to Jeff Patterson.
Oh, just to follow on that then, and I know you're a player and you can only control so much, but this organization started the season with a lot of veterans in depth roles, and then some injuries, and the team turned to the waiver wire for a little while. And then at the end, it was young kids. Do you see a plan as a player? Do you see a plan forward for this organization right now?
I mean, I do. I mean, we do have a lot of good young players, and I think we're, again, as an organization, we're going to take the next step next year and bring the right guys in and stay healthy, and have a good I think our core is is what's going to carry us on to next year. And again, our younger guys have to make the next step, take the next step next year and get better, as well as our veteran players too. I mean, we're not gonna win on just young guys or just older guys. Everybody's collectively got to get better.
Are you at a point in time? I mean, Tom sort of listed where you are. You're 26 now. You've got all these games under your belt. You're a captain for a couple of seasons. Like, are you at a point in time at a season's end where you would feel more comfortable now, perhaps asking difficult questions of management just about, what they're thinking and maybe what their ideas are for next season and beyond?
No, I'm sure there's going to be talks and conversations, and if they ask my opinion, of course I'm gonna tell them, because I want to succeed here and I want to win. I want to be on a team that's is going to make the playoffs, and I want to obviously voice my opinion when it's asked, and again, a lot of it's out of my control, but I'm just going to try to do whatever I can to help this organization win.
With our last question for Bo Horvat, we'll go to Rob Williams.
Hi, Bo. You listed, the team's good young core. What do you think this group is missing to get to that next level?
And we had good depth scoring, from all four lines. And I think in order to do that, in order to win in this league and to win in the playoffs, I mean, you see it the first couple of games, not only does your top lines have to score, but again, you have to have that depth in your lineup. And I think if we can add that, we're going to be really successful.
And just, the lack of team success that you've had in your career, particularly after, the success last season, how frustrating was it to not just be out of the playoffs again, but to be out of it so soon?
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we were right in it. We weren't out of it crazy early. I mean, we were still in it there for a bit. And we got ourselves right back into contention. Then all of a sudden COVID hit, and, and we had a good couple games right after coming back from COVID, and we were still right there. So, I mean, it wasn't until a couple weeks later where, things started to fall apart, but it is frustrating. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. It is frustrating, and next year we just have to come out stronger and try to make the playoffs.